What's up, guys? Josh and I are back. The COVID relief bill has passed, kind of. We have a lot to talk about. I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions. People want to know, how much money am I going to get? When am I going to get it? Businesses are wanting to know what's coming their way to help them through this difficult time. And we have all of the most up-to-date information. We're literally following our Facebook groups and other news feeds because I believe Congress is currently voting on something in this bill right now. So we have a lot to talk about. It's going to be a lot of fun. Josh, get it started. How much money are people going to get?
Yeah, this is a question I think everybody wants to know. So we're just going to put it out there real quick, and then we're going to work our way through this because there's a lot of details coming out. Literally, just before we go live here, something updated and changed. So we're going to try to keep that going. But the good news is, for every adult and child, $600 is going in your pocket. So if you're a family of four, $2,400, and that could come as soon as 2 weeks. The Treasury did just come out and say, hey, we're pushing it out. So it looks like we're going to get an extra $1,400 per person, go up to $2,000. And so
Wait. They're going to get it or they're not going to get it?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
The vote is there, and we think that's what everything is leaning towards. But at this moment, the IRS is going to issue out the Treasury Department, $600 stimulus payment to everybody.
Per person.
Per person.
It includes your kids.
Sort of.
Okay.
That's where it gets a little tricky here. So dependents 16 and under are a yes.
Okay.
If they're over 16, that's a no. Unfortunately, for all of our college students, this is no fun. If you're 24 and under and you're in college, no stimulus money coming toward you.
So wait a second. All those parents, their kids came back home and took it and ate all their food all year long. They don't get money for them again?
Yeah, no money this time. And so that is an unfortunate thing. And the phase outs are going to stay very similar. Going to start at $75,000 single, a little over $112,000 for head of household. Married filing jointly $150 with a phase out on that one of $174. So for the majority of people, you're going to get $600. Hopefully, within the next 2 weeks, the Treasury said they are going to be issuing that money out as quickly as possible. So that's exciting news for a lot of people. I know a lot of people need a little bit of extra, especially coming out of Christmas time, to get that little bit of extra. It's a big deal. So family of four, $2,400. That's a really, a good thing. And, I was kind of trying to think through today, maybe what are some of those things that people are really going to want to know.
I have a couple questions. All right?
Okay.
I'm going to stop you because
let's go there.
A couple questions. So what about someone that has had a kid in 2020? What's going on with that?
Yeah. Well, congratulations, first off.
Eric is going to have a baby tomorrow.
Yeah, which is really exciting. $600 for a new kid, we all know, is a drop in the bucket there on diapers. But the good news is you're going to be able to claim that in a refundable credit on your 2020 tax return.
So you're not getting it now.
Not getting it now.
You're going to get it with your taxes.
Correct.
Just like, so earlier in the year, the $500 per kid. So anyone that has a kid, they're going to get the $500 earlier that they missed out on. They're going to get that plus $600. Correct. With their taxes.
Correct.
Okay.
And that is going to be a special line item that's going to be on the tax return this year. Which, they still haven't even released that. And so that's going to be one of those things why coming to an LWS is going to be really important, because there are going to be very strict guidelines on who qualifies, how they qualify, and putting all that in there so that you can make sure you do get that money later down the road. And for anybody, that's $1,100 extra dollars. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And so that's going to be one of the big things is on the 2020. And that also goes for people who didn't get it because maybe a bank account was wrong. There was a few other things that kind of fell in there. You're going to be able to get that on your 2020 return. So for some people, your tax return might go up a significant amount of money if you have quite a few dependents. This is one of the other good things about the new act. There's no cap on kids. And so if you have
8 kids.
If you're the Partridge Family, you're gonna have a
Partridge Family.
I know, man. That's a little old. What's a modern day family? Whatever it is.
I was going to say one of my friends, but he would have got mad, so I didn't say anything. So here's the big question, and everybody is. I've seen all of everyone on Facebook all weekend, on Instagram, and they're complaining that I don't want all this money going overseas. We need to give $2,000 per individual. And so they're like, okay, $600, and I've been struggling all year long. That's all I'm going to get. But then Trump comes out and says, no, I want $2,000.
Yep.
But then he signs the bill that it's $600, but hey, Congress, make it $2,000. So that's a really confusing thing to go through, because you're sitting there at home going, well, am I going to get $2,000 or am I going to get $600? So it sounds like Congress is maybe voting on it right this second. It does. I don't think it looks good, in my opinion. I don't know. We'll find out soon.
Yeah.
I think you think it looks good, but I don't know, man. Everybody's wondering, are we going to get 600 or are we going to get $2,000? And then something you just told me like a minute ago was, you're going to get the 600 now, and then if they do $2,000, what's going to happen?
Yeah. So then they're gonna issue a whole nother check. So to get to that 2,000, you get a $1,400 check at another point. Now they did say that they are going to try to do that one in a timely fashion.
Okay.
Which, who knows what timely is, but I would say within 2 weeks they're going to start rolling that out. For a lot of people, you're going to get that first wave of money. If it does go through today, you're probably looking at another 3 or 4 weeks. Obviously, there's a lot of different factors in that for you, but that would be a nice little, added check here in a couple weeks.
Okay. So the answer to am I getting $2,000 is we don't know.
We don't know.
No one knows yet.
No.
And hopefully we know today, but like 1 hour it looks good, 1 hour it looks bad. So ask your questions. Don't post political things about whether you like someone or not. Just ask us your questions. A non-political environment here. We're just trying to get you the information. Josh, so you said there's a bunch of other information for families and for individuals in this plan. What's
Absolutely. Going on? So another really good one is for a lot of people who are struggling, who are either underemployed or unemployed at this moment. They did extend unemployment benefits this weekend. And so through March 14th of 2021, it's an extra $300 into that unemployment.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So you're looking at, a solid couple months here of that relief. And hopefully by that time, the vaccine will be out long enough that maybe the market will start turning. We can get people employed again. But at this point, $300. The first one was $600. And this one, they are going to be a little more reading about it over the weekend and today, a little bit more looking into it, just for the simple fact they overpaid a lot of people the first time. And so if you did get a lump sum, that will come back. They are going to be adjusting that. But the good news is $300 extra on top of all your other unemployment benefits, which is really, really good.
That's good, because that ended this week, right?
It did. Yeah, actually, it ended, I believe, on Friday, so that there was a little time gap there.
Let's scare everybody and say, hey, all of you on unemployment struggling, let's wait till after it ends to tell you if you're going to get more money again.
And I think, just all along those guidelines, people have their income has maybe reduced this year because of that. So in this act, they actually added some things in for that too. For instance, earned income credit. That is one that's
a big one.
People get scared about because of unemployment and all of that. Maybe, you were making $18,000, $19,000 this year. You've actually only earned, maybe $3,000 or $4,000, and you're used to an earned income credit. Well, that's one thing that they did. They're going to allow you to look back onto 2019 and pull that earned income forward. So that's going to be.
So they're going to take. So let's say in 2019 you had $15,000 of earned income. You have a couple kids to claim, and you get a large refund.
Yep.
And so you have to have earned income to get the earned income tax credit. Now this year you're struggling, either your business or whatever you're doing isn't making as much, and they're going to let you go back and bring your 19 number in and get the same earned income credit.
Exactly.
Wow.
I know it sounds completely absurd, but
that's amazing.
It's phenomenal for people who need it. So not only are you going to get, the $600, you have a couple kids, maybe you're getting $1,800. But you're thinking, man, my tax return, I'm used to getting X amount back, and it's
everybody plans on it. Yeah, you plan on your refund on it for sure.
Yeah, and so that's where that pulling forward is really going to help a lot of families, especially going through winter when you're kind of stuck inside and you have higher electric bills, utilities because it's so cold out. That's going to be a great way, those tax returns, to really help some people out on that.
Okay, let's. I don't know if we have questions at all. Nothing yet.
Y'all are a hoot. Love your personalities.
What?
Heyo.
Nice pen,
This is a very nice pen right here.
Oh, how it affect your tax return? So,
yes,
that's the big one. We kind of talked about it a little bit. Where my biggest concern that I feel is going to be the biggest problem when we get to doing tax returns are are the families that have single moms, single dads, and they share dependents with kids going back and forth each year. So in 19, if you claim a kid, but you don't in 20, you got the stimulus payments. Now, I've heard, I haven't seen all the information, but I believe those people won't have the money stripped from them. I don't believe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's a really good question, and information we're still kind of waiting on is if you claimed a kid in 19, but you don't in 20, and they sent you 500 plus another 600, are you going to have to pay that $1,100 back if you don't claim them in 20? I don't think so.
Yeah.
But we don't have all the information for that, so we'll do something soon to talk about that because that's a big deal.
Yeah. That's
a
big deal.
So I think that might be what that one person was asking, what Carrie was asking for is if that happens, how's that going to affect my taxes? And a lot of people are wanting to know about that. So that's a big one. There's some other stuff you told me about earlier today. What else is going on?
Yeah.
Charitable contributions, something
So
else.
that's another really good one. So, a couple weeks ago we got on here, had a lot of fun. $300 above the line. They actually raised that now to $600 for married filing jointly.
Okay.
This is one thing that they are going to be a little more wanting proof on. And it was weird that they raised it, but oddly enough, they also raised the penalty if they find out you didn't do it. So it went from a 20% penalty to a 50%.
Oh.
So they definitely want you to document that in some form. So, most charitable organizations, they'll send you a giving sheet. I know, whether it's, Skim or any of those locally,
United Way, or Salvation
PRC,
Army.
they're giving you a sheet. So that's going to be absolutely good. But yeah, if you're married filing jointly, that $600 over the line, that's a really good one. The other one would be the Flex Spend account. It's not quite as good as the HSA that I geeked out on.
That was your triple tax savings.
Yeah, my triple tax savings. But the Flex savings, that's for people with the PPO program. They are actually changing it where you can roll your money forward, which you're not going to see the glass places telling you could roll it forward. But you can you're going to roll that forward from 2020 to 2021, and then you can actually roll 2021 to 2022. The other thing that they actually changed is for the dependent care on that, because a lot of people are having to pay for dependent care. So they actually raised the age from 12 to 13.
Okay.
So that, if you have to pay for somebody to come in, maybe it's, you're there, they're out of school because of everything going on and you have to have a babysitter there. Now you get to use that as a deduction up to a 13-year-old. So that's going to be a really good one for a lot of people. And so I'm excited about those two little things, because I think those are two things that maybe COVID has hit you hard, but you're still surviving. But these are great ways to just kind of help
give back, help other people. Yeah.
And then also that carry forward. So you're not, feeling like you have to spend this money because you're going to lose it, which a lot of people, that's a big fear, especially, if you have a health expense coming up in January and you can't get in because, maybe hospitals, they're not taking as many people, things like that. This is a really great way.
All right. So for individuals, what we have for them is we know you're getting $600 a person. We know that, including kids 16 and under. If you have a college student or someone 17 and older, sorry.
Yeah.
Which they're the most expensive at that age. I don't really understand why it's always been that way, but that's the deal. They're currently voting on all of Trump's amendments to the bill.
Yep.
So that could change and we could get $2,000 a person. But if that happens, they're going to start sending the $600 now.
Correct.
And $1,400 per person later. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
We have a $300 a week increase for unemployment benefits through March 14th. And then we have the earned income credit tax look back, which is huge. And then you've got the charitable donations and your FSA. So anything else?
Yeah, there's a few things in there. And obviously if you want more of this information, there's plenty of sources. You can reach out to us. Low income housing, $25 billion got put into that. So if you're struggling with rent, our county is going to be able to give out some of those hardship funds. So if you haven't been able to pay your rent, and I just saw today the average person behind in rent is $6,000.
Oh my goodness!
And so that is one of those things that you're really going to be able to get some local help there. 90% of that $25 billion has to go towards us.
So where does it? So where would they even go to get that?
So I do know with the first half, the Clark County, they actually, if you go to their website, they had a spot that you could apply for those funds.
Okay.
It does go to people who are lower earners first. To qualify, you have to be under 80% of the median income of the area. So for us, Ours is a little bit lower than obviously Columbus, so you would have some things there.
Okay.
So you're going to be able to, and that's going to be any that can go towards utilities, anything like that. So you're going to be able to get some money there.
Okay.
So, and in that eviction ban, you're not able to be evicted until January 31st of 2021 without proper notice.
Okay.
So those are those things. And the number one thing also, this isn't with housing, but they put in for surprise medical bills, which has been a big thing for a lot of people.
Well, yeah.
You
For
lose
sure.
your job, but you already went to the hospital. You were approved, and then all of a sudden the hospital says, no, now there's funds there that they can apply for to pay for that. So you can't get surprise medical bills.
Okay, good.
So those
So
are
there's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and this is another one for people who are wondering about the $600 paycheck. I totally forgot about this one. If you are married to a U.S. citizen, but you are not a U.S. citizen, this time you do qualify for the $600. So that's another good thing in this, because I know we have a lot of people who are married to an American citizen, but maybe are going through the process or aren't. They're still going to get that $600. So that's
Okay.
a good all the way around.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to switch over to businesses now. We good?
Yes.
All right. So this is where I go for a little bit. And I saw some questions on there. Mallory, we're coming with some small business stuff. Kendra, let's see. Kendra had a question. What about people that are 18? Like say they turned it on the 25th. Will they still get the $600 for their self? If they're not in college.
If they're not in college,
they get it.
They would get
and
it.
they claim themselves on their taxes.
Yeah.
Then they would get it.
Yes. And that's the tricky part, because parents claiming, especially if there's the American Opportunity Tax Credit for college, a lot of times parents do claim, because that's just a much better benefit on the parents' tax. So there's all those different factors would be played in.
Okay. All right, let's talk business. So we've got some crazy stuff on the business side. Now, 2 weeks ago, we talked, if you received a PPP loan, you had to pay taxes on that. And all these businesses were like, wait a second, you told me to take the money. You made me pay my employees with this money. You said I wouldn't pay any tax. And then at the end of the year, the IRS is like, we're going to create a loophole and make you pay tax on that. And so that was the advice we gave 2 weeks ago. But with the new COVID relief bill, all expenses are deductible, not taxable. Thank goodness. That was some scary stuff. We were calling business owners last week and going, you owe like 50 grand because of the PPP. And if it wasn't taxable, you wouldn't know anything. And they're like, wait a second, I spent all the money.
Yep.
So I'm very thankful that they passed this, because it would have really hurt small business. So if you got a PPP loan and it's forgiven or expected to be forgiven, not taxable, thank goodness. It's what they said it was going to end up being, but we had some scary weeks there. Now we have PPP round 2, which is exciting because we didn't know if we'd ever get this. So PPP round 2, it's for not ever. So before, back in May when PPP came out, the Paycheck Protection Program, every business was eligible that just said, yes, I've been hurt by COVID-19 or from coronavirus, which what business wasn't hurt in March and May of this year? So everyone went and got it as fast as they could. And so now they come back and they say, all right, we're going to do a second round. Not everybody gets it. Only businesses that were affected by at least 25% of either the first, second, or third quarter. So what you need to do is you need to go look at your financials. Yes. You need to look at your first, second, and third quarter of 2019. Look at your first, second, and third quarter of 2020. And if any of your quarters are down 25%, then you're eligible to apply for this loan. And you will get 2.5 times your monthly payroll. So if you have 2 people on payroll, they make $5,000 a month, you will get $25,000. And then the other thing they did, which is really cool, is if you're in the restaurant industry, which has been crushed, you will now get 3.5 times your monthly monthly payroll on this one if you're down 25%. Now there's some restaurants that crushed it in carry out. They're not down 25%. Some of them are even making more money this year, which is crazy. But if you were a dine-in restaurant, you likely couldn't completely transition to carry out. And if you haven't closed yet, you're struggling to make it. Yeah. And so this will help a lot because you'll get 3.5 times your monthly payroll. Now, they've also put in information in here that says, well, what about new businesses that are struggling? They started in January, February, and then this hit. So they haven't come out with how that's going to work yet. But those businesses in the restaurant industry that started in 2020 will be able to apply if they haven't hit numbers they expected to hit. They haven't really said how they're going to figure that out, but that is a big thing to stay in tune to find out. And then the only other big thing that we have is the government wants us to go eat. Like literally, they want us to go eat. I love to eat. I love my pizza.
You can tell I love to eat.
I love my pizza, my wings, all that stuff. And I'm trying not to eat it too much, but it's so good. And they want us to go eat. So the IRS has said for 2021 and 2022, businesses can deduct 100% of what they spend on meals. So usually it's 50%, and businesses can't take the full deduction. The IRS is saying, hey, go take your employees out to eat. You go out to eat, take your customers out to eat, and we're going to give you the full deduction. So that's cool. That's going to be really good for the restaurant industry for the next 2 years and hopefully build it back up.
Yeah.
They want to see us back in restaurants eating, and hopefully we're going to be allowed to do that or feel comfortable doing that.
Absolutely.
As a whole entire.
So does that mean we're going to do painted pepper for breakfast? We're going to do 571 for lunch and then Lee's for dinner tonight?
Sure. And then Chop Smooth the next day. And
Yeah.
Stella Blue.
We'll keep going.
We got it. So we need to go eat. So you can wait a week, but starting next year, all the businesses are able to deduct 100%. So let's eat. Let's support these local businesses. If you're in the entertainment industry, big stuff.
Yes.
So movie theaters, museums, concert venues, things like that. Even travel agents, which is interesting, are eligible to receive a pretty large grant. So let's say you're a theater that brings in $1 million a year. Well, this year you didn't bring in anywhere near $1 million. Yeah. So in this bill, you can receive up to 45% of your yearly revenue if it's down that much. So that's some crazy stuff. We don't really have any clients in that industry, so it's not something we're going to put a lot of time into. But if you have a friend or you own a business that's got that going on, we would love to help you and learn that and walk you through that. But that's a pretty big deal where I've read you can receive 45% of the prior year income if you haven't hit it this year. So that can help those businesses stay in business so we can use them when it's safe again.
Absolutely.
So what kind of questions? Anything else that we can reach out to here?
Blake, you said something earlier. How do I figure out if I'm down 25%? I think, a lot of people, it's hard for them, if you do all of your books, at this time of year, or, hey, I get my taxes done February 28th and I do my books, February 26th. What's it going to be like for people like that?
So you're going to need to get your stuff in order real fast because you're going to have to prove it to the SBA that that's what happened. Now, obviously we recommend using a firm like ours because why would you, as an entrepreneur to run your business without good financials, you're never going to be truly as successful as you could be because you don't know where your numbers are at. Exactly. So now an opportunity like this shows up and the government's like, okay, prove that you're down 25%. Well, I don't really have the records, the proof. You're not going to get a loan approved by the SBA if you don't have the proof. Yeah. So it would be important to quickly get your books in order for last year if they're not, and get them in order for this year so you can see if you're down. And so you're going to have a lot of information to prove to the SBA and to your bank so that you can get this money. But if we're talking tens of thousands of dollars, and that can change your life, keep your business in business through the rest of this pandemic, like it's important, and it shows the importance of having good financials. We've never told a client, well, if a pandemic comes and there's a PPP loan, it's a good thing to have good accounting. There's 50 other better reasons to have good accounting for your business. But things like this pop up, and so that's a great point because the last thing you want is go, well, I've got 60 hours now I got to put together, and by the time I get it ready to the bank, will all the money be gone because it's first come first serve, and once it's gone, it's gone. They're not going to come out with any more like last time. It's going to be over.
And I remember that first batch that came out back, the first wave. And it was like the money was going as quickly as it was coming in. And I just remember talking to a friend in the banking, and he's like, hey, we've gotten so many loans already. We have to shut this thing down. And so, being on top of your financials is critical so you can make sure you're always in that first wave. And you're not, wave 3 and you're getting the scraps when, especially when you need it. Because this isn't for people who don't need it. Yeah. This is for people who absolutely need it. And, whatever money you get, if that makes your business survive, and then 2021 is a completely different year, that it could be this little bit of money could actually propel you into the best year you've ever had. Yeah. But you have to get this to maybe survive that the winter months and all of that.
Absolutely.
So it's definitely something to look into.
Yeah, you definitely need to. Yeah, absolutely. So it's just been so crazy. 2 weeks ago we come with all this information and it completely changes. It might change in the next hour. We don't know. So we're just trying to bring it to you as fast as we can, as quick as we can, so you can make good decisions. But yeah, if you're a small business, you want to reach out to your bank quickly. We have already emailed every client we have. We already got into all of our clients' accounting, and we identified the ones that are down 25%, and we already emailed them today what we're going to need to do to get that done. And so they're already in the know before we even came live on this.
Yeah.
So, we're working hard for them, and, you have to stay on top of stuff every day to help your clients this time of year with what's going on. So I think that's it. If there's I don't think do we have questions? No, nobody, no questions.
You guys are the best. LWS is awesome. Just a bunch of good stuff.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So Mallory, hopefully you got your question answered, but the PPP round 2 is a big deal.
Yes.
Having the PPP forgiven on the first round, it's going to save a lot of stress on people. And then the big question is, when am I going to get my money? The 2 questions: when am I going to get it, and how much am I going to get? We know you're getting $600.
Yep.
For you and your spouse if you're married. Any kids under 16, you're getting $600, and it's coming in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Hopefully, that's what they say.
Hopefully.
And if they pass $2,000, you're going to get another $1,400 a few weeks after that. If your child is 17, 18, up to 24 and in college, and you claim them, you get nothing. If they're 18 and they claim themselves, they'll get the money. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be crazy. You can call our office at any time. You can send us messages on Facebook. You can comment to this. We will answer. We just want to help you through this difficult time.
Absolutely.
I think that's it. Brian was walking through a couple. I wish we could have like a big view of our office, because Brian was like doing that creepy face he does.
Oh.
And it like messed up my focus a couple times. And I'm like, what is he doing over there? So, and then if you guys ever want to get somebody else on here with from the group, we can pull Ashley or Jen or Marilyn or Brian just to mess with them. And then we might even get Millie, our newest hire, who can sing really well. Maybe we'll get her to sing the Star Spangled Banner before our next one. I
think that's a good idea.
Millie, you in? No, she's not.
No. The best singer who's afraid to sing in front of us.
Right. Thank you all for watching. Please reach out to us. We'd love to help you. Eric, you the man.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing this. Thanks, guys.